Hey everyone, welcome to this week's High Value Publishing Session. My name is Eric Shanfelt. I'm the founding partner of Nearview Media, and I've been doing digital media for, over 30 years now. I hate to admit it, I'm getting a little bit long in the tooth, but I'm glad you all could join me here today. Today we're going to talk about Google business profiles for local media companies. Now, hopefully, if you run any kind of a media company that is locally, city, regional focused, you've already got your Google business profile. You've already claimed it. You've already optimized it. But if not, that's okay. That's what this session is here for today. So let's talk about, first of all, what the heck is a Google business profile? So if you run a local media company, like a city and regional magazine, lifestyle, parenting magazine, a newspaper, a regional business publication, anything that has a local or regional focus to it. Your advertisers, every one of them knows what a Google business profile is. A Google business profile is exactly that. It is a special entity that Google has done for a long, long, long time, where you can actually can claim and own the listing for your business. Now, there's some things you can modify yourself, some things that Google's going to say, no, we're just going to add it to it. But for instance, I did a search for plumbers in Fort Collins. You could do one on desktop, right? All of these businesses that show up here, those are all coming from Google business profiles. If you're on Google Maps and you do a search, all of those that show up there, those are all Google business profiles. Sponsored one is not, but all the other ones are. So your business profile is exactly that. It is all the information about your business that Google knows tied to a geographic location. So for media companies, this becomes pretty important. So here's an example of a Google business profile for BizTimes Media, Milwaukee, BizTimes. You can see this is what it looks like on Google Maps. You can actually see that I'm helping them manage this business profile. This is what it looks like on Google Desktop if you're doing a search. This over here is the Google business profile, and it's over here. So you're creating this information, and then Google is displaying this information in different places. They're displaying it on Google Maps. They're displaying it in Google search results. It can come up in Google Gemini. It can come up with Google Voice if you're using audio inputs on that. So this is basically you're telling Google, hey, I'm going to tell you some information about my business. Google's going to supplement that with other information it knows about your business, and it's going to create a profile for your business online. Now, why is this important for media companies? What's the big deal? Well, you may have heard of this, but there's this kind of concept that Google has called EEAT, expertise, experience, authority, and trust, right? That's what EEAT stands for. Now, this isn't like some search algorithm. It is a set of principles that Google has given their search quality raters. Yes, there actually are people out there who evaluate the quality of search results, to say these are the things that we think are trustworthy and that should be kind of bumped up in search. The things that don't show this should be pushed down in search. So we were looking for results and content from entities that show us experience, expertise, authority, and trust in their area. So your Google business profile is actually another signal to Google of your search trustworthiness. So in other words, why are we doing this? Well, in this case for D Magazine wants to continue to show to Google any way possible it knows Dallas, right? We are all about Dallas. We know Dallas. We're based in Dallas. Our office is here in Dallas, right? So it's a big signal of search trustworthiness, because when you claim your listing, you actually have to go through an approval process. Right? Google tries to make sure that you are indeed who you say you are. You do indeed serve the region where you say you serve. So it's a signal of search trustworthiness that can help boost you in search results. So that's why we want to do it. It's not that difficult to set up, maintain. Every signal we can give to Google that says we are legitimate and we know this region that we serve is a good thing. All right, so let's talk about here how we're going to claim and optimize your Google business listing and how we're going to integrate that into your digital ecosystem to show Google as much connection as possible between your website and your Google business profile. All right, so let's start with the first step. We've got to claim and optimize our Google business profile. All right, the best way to do that is we're going to go to business.google.com. So you're going to go to business.google.com, and right there, that's where you can start. Most media companies, most local media companies are already going to have a Google business profile. You probably already have one out there, especially if you have an in-person location, you're registered with the state, you probably already have a Google business profile. You may just not even know it. Whether you do or do not, you can either claim it starting here, you can claim an unclaimed listing, or you can create a new one if you need one. There's a whole approval process. There's a whole verification process that has to go through this. So that's a pretty in-depth procedure. We'll have a standard operating procedure released by the beginning of the year that shows you exactly how to do all those various steps. There may also be someone in your organization who claimed a Google business profile a long time ago, and you need to get ownership of it back. All those could be potentially situations that you may find yourself in. So once you've claimed and gone through the process of claiming your Google business profile, you are now able to manage it. There is an actual interface at business.google.com, but they actually kind of push you back out to normal Google search. So when I go back out to Google search, now when I look up Biz Times Media, for instance, all of this stuff up here pops up. It says, oh, are you wanting to manage your listing? Here, you can edit your profile, look at the reviews, add some photos, put some posts, look at some performance of it. You can, ask for reviews, all these different things that are out here. Also on the right-hand side, you'll be able to see you manage this business. You can edit your business information, right? So to try to put it in line where you actually see your business listing that you can then edit these various pieces here. Once you've got that, you've got it set up. The most important thing, first of all, is this edit profile and the photos. So a little tiny here, apologize, should have blown it up a little bit more, but you really want to make sure your business information is correct and accurate. You want to make sure your business name is correct. You want to make sure the business categories are correct. For instance, for Biz Times in Milwaukee, we've got as a media company as a primary, it's a news service. They also run events and they're a publisher. So we put it in all four categories, but media company is the primary category. We can put a description in there. This is a description to end users about our business. They like to know an opening date. That'll be important when you go to verify and claim your listing. And then contact information, right? Phone number, website, social profiles, your business location, right? Service areas, your business hours, special hours, like are you closed during Thanksgiving? Are you closed during Christmas? Are you closed during New Year's, right? If you have an office location, that's especially important. So you want to get all your information up and accurate, and we'll talk about how to maintain this here in a little bit. You also want to upload photos. There's at least two that you want to upload. You want to upload what's called a cover image, right? The cover image, that's this main image that will show on your listings. You also want to upload a logo, right? Kind of a social media squared off kind of logo that you're going to want to utilize in here. That will be used in other places that is shown. Then there's also other photos you can upload, events, staff, office location, things that show you're part of the community. And as a local media company, you should be showing those things off. You can upload different photos and videos, by the way. The next most important part are going to be the customer reviews. So whether you know it or not, you most likely have already a Google business profile out there. And the best way, by the way, to find your own is to search for your media company, comma, city, comma, state. So like I would do Biz Times Media, comma, Milwaukee, comma, Wisconsin, and then boom, their business profile will show up. But with the customer reviews, you probably have some reviews out there and you may not even know about them. I can almost guarantee very, very few media companies are doing positive responses to customer reviews. So in other words, here's some reviews. You can see this is a review written 3 months ago by this guy, Jeff K. He only gave it a 1 star. Now, the good news is they got a 4.2 out of 5 stars, 37 reviews, but he can say he's pretty upset about something. Cancel my description. It's all ads, no staff writers left, just freelance writers. Anyway, he's pretty upset. Here's a 5-star from a couple years ago. So a couple things with the custom reviews. Number one, be aware that they're out there and they're talking about your publication already. Number two, we want to always respond as the business to these reviews. So as the business, you can read these reviews and you can respond to these reviews. Now, never argue with someone. Never say, you're a loser, you don't know what you're talking about, get off my, don't do it. Just, you're not writing a response to try to convince this Jeff to change his review or to like you more. What you're writing the response for is for other people reading the reviews. So, and by the way, this is fantastic advice. As a media company, you should know this inside and out because every single one of your advertisers who has a local presence is going to be managing their own Google business profile. But I know there's a lot of media companies who will actually take over management of Google business profiles and other local listings for their advertisers. It's a whole different line of business we could get into. But make sure you know this inside and out. Make sure you're responding to reviews in a positive way. Say, hey, Jeff, we're really sorry that you've had a bad experience. We actually do have staff writers on. Here's the link to see all of our staff credentials. And hey, if you've got a correction off of one of our articles, please make sure to let us know. We have a whole corrections policy, right? It's a positive response to these reviews. Even positive reviews, it's good to just say, hey, thanks. We really appreciate that. Let us know if there's anything else we can do to help you. The other thing that we've got on your kind of business profile, that are kind of big section, are posts and offers. Treat your Google business profile just like a social media platform. You actually have the ability to post stories out there, just like you would to Facebook, just like you would to LinkedIn or X. You can post stories out there regularly, and then you can post special offers. Like you can see BizTimes, they're posting a special offer, a 40% offer that's for a specific set of time to subscriptions. That's great. Now, am I expecting this to drive a ton of traffic to your site? No, this isn't going to drive a ton of traffic to your site. But what it does is it's continually reinforcing to Google, this Google business profile is about a real business who's posting regularly, who's responding to customer reviews, who's updating their info. This must be a legit company. It's going to keep building your EEAT, your expertise, experience, authority, and trust in the eyes of Google. And that's a positive thing. All right, once you've got your business profile claimed, you've checked all the information in it, you've added all the photos to it, you're checking the customer reviews, you're responding to a few of them, maybe you're posting on a regular basis. Now it's time to integrate your Google business profile. How do we connect your Google business profile with your website so that ultimately Google looks at these things and goes, oh, these are all interconnected. It's the same entity. I'm going to give this website more authority and trust and maybe boost it in the search results. All right, first, in the profile itself, in your Google business profile itself, you can add your website and you could add social media links, right? So they've got LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. That's all they support right now. But that's a lot. And so what we've done here is we've actually integrated the website into the Google business profile. We said this Google business profile is the same thing as this website. So now Google's going, aha, I now know these two entities are are the same company. We've also then said, oh, by the way, we have, and you can see that the website button in your Google business profile is tied to that. And then in your Google business profile, we've got, hey, here's these other profiles for BizTimes, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, right there. And those are all tied from right here. So now not only have we tied together your Google business profile and your website, but we've also said, oh, by the way, this is the same business as this LinkedIn profile, this Twitter profile, X profile, this YouTube profile, this Facebook profile. That's huge. We're tying all of these things together and adding more expertise, experience, authority, trust to us as a media company, which helps boost us in search results and search traffic. Next, we're going to embed this profile on your website. So here's an example on BizTimes. You can see this is kind of their contact us page, but you can see we actually have the Google Business Profile embedded right here. Now, this is different than just embedding a Google map. This is the actual Google Business Profile embedded here. Yes, it's a map, but you can see the marker actually says BizTimes Media. That's taken from the Google Business Profile. It actually says BizTimes Media. It actually has the location, it actually has the reviews and directions and view larger map. That's literally a mini version of your Google Business Profile I've just embedded on the website. So now when Google comes and indexes this page, it goes, oh, you have an embedded Google Business Profile for BizTimes Media. Your website's BizTimes Media. Oh, there's another connection point on here. So it's more than just a map. You're actually embedding the Google Business Profile. How do you get it? All right, go to maps.google.com. Go to the Maps version of Google. Find your profile, and then click this little share button. There's a little share button here. You want to do it this way. If you do share the other ways, you're only going to get a link, but you do it this way, share, and then you can click this embed a map, and then you can just literally copy the HTML code, and then that HTML code is what we embed on this page. So now we just created another connection between the Google Business Profile and our website. And then the third way we're going to integrate this is if you've got your site set up properly, if you're using like WordPress with Yoast or with Rank Math or something like that, and you've got your site has schema data. Schema data is kind of code underneath your web pages that tells Google and other search engines and other bots, this is not just a web page. This web page is about this, right? So in this case here, this was a web page that was part of this website that was published by this organization of Westchester Magazine that has this URL. And oh, by the way, this URL is the same as, again, we're making connections here. So schema data is also going to connect this website to all these social media profiles, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok. It's also the same as this Google Business Profile. So we actually grab the link for the Google Business Profile, plug it into Rank Math or Yoast, whatever you're using in here, as another kind of social media or other related entity here. So again, we've got another way we're connecting our website to the Google Business Profile. By the way, you'll also notice in this case, Westchester also has a channel on Google News. We're putting in the Google News channel in here. So what we're trying to do is tell Google and other entities, this isn't just a website. This is BizTimes or Westchester Magazine or D Magazine, right? Or Dallas Fort Worth Parent. And this is connected to this Google Business Profile and these social media profiles. All these are the exact same business that builds your credibility, that builds your authority, that builds your trust. Okay, once we've got all those set up, we've got it connected through the actual links in the Google Business Profile. We've embedded your Google Business Profile on the contact page of your site, and we've integrated it into your website's schema data. Now we have to maintain this Google listing. Okay, what's the revolve? What's the maintenance required for a Google Business Profile? It's not that hard, actually. This is my recommended maintenance. On a daily basis, post content to you can do posts and a lot of social media tools like CoSchedule is one. There's other social media tools out there. They just treat your Google Business Profile like any other social media profile. So post out to your Google Business Profile just like you would another social media channel. Again, the more you post out there, the more, Google sees your Google Business Profile as being used and is actually alive and vital, and it builds more authority and more trust. On a weekly basis, I usually recommend that companies, this is true for all companies, not just media companies, but if you are a plumber or an insurance company or an IP attorney, I'd be recommending the same things. Read and respond to customer reviews in a positive manner. Don't get defensive. Don't be a jerk. Don't argue and fight online. Doesn't work. Respond to it very positively. There's another section in your Google Business Profile called Q&A. And the Q&A is exactly that. It's designed to be readers asking questions about your business to other readers and other readers answering it. It's designed to be a peer-to-peer thing. But you as the business can also go in and you could pre-populate Q&A, and you can also respond to Q&A and help with that. And then I also say, on a weekly basis, solicit some more reviews, right? This is for Concord Monitor, been around for a very long time. It has 30 reviews. I should kind of go out and once a week, I should talk to some of my best customers and just say, hey, would you leave us a review on Google? Actually, if you go into your Google Business Profile, there's actually a link that will take you right to the place for someone to leave a review for your business. So you could share that with some of your best customers. The best defense is a good offense. You want to get better. You want to get more reviews, better reviews. This is, by the way, the exact same advice you should be giving all of your advertisers who have local business listings. Have a proactive review generation strategy. And then once a month, go in, check the accuracy of your listing. Make sure Google hasn't overwritten anything. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it goes out there and it finds information from a third party that it thinks is more current, more up to date, and it will kind of put it into your listing and say, we've updated this for you. Let us know if it's good or not. So check the accuracy of your listing information. Is your imagery still good? Your cover photo, your logos, anything like that? Upload a few new photos. Did you have an event? Upload a couple of photos from the event. Did you have a really cool story that showcases? Do you want to upload a cool shot of the inside of your organization, or maybe a cool photo of one of your staff members? Just a couple photos. Don't go nuts over it. And then at least once a month, I recommend doing a post, not just a content post, but some sort of promotional post, promote an event that you have and link to the tickets, promote a subscription that you're doing, or a subscription promotion and link to that. Are you doing any kind of a contest, a sweepstakes, or a best of reader voting? Put that out and link to it. Again, you're not going to generate a ton of traffic, but just the very fact that you're paying a little bit of TLC to this Google Business Profile is really going to show Google that you are a legitimate local presence, and it's going to build your experience, expertise, authority, and trust, which is going to help you in getting more traffic in from Google search results. So that's a Google Business Profile in a nutshell. If anybody has any questions or thoughts on this is the time to ask them. Pop them in either to the chat or the Q&A. I'll be glad to answer them. But I strongly recommend every local business claim, optimize, integrate, and then maintain a Google local business profile for your publisher. I do want to note, if you are a national publication, like you're a jazz enthusiast publication or a knitting magazine that is national or international, or an aviation publication, something that doesn't have a local focus, if it's more of a national or international focus, this is not for you. This actually could negatively impact you. You should not be doing a local business profile. This is for newspapers, city and regional magazines, your local parenting publications, regional business publications, right? It's for anybody who has a focus on a specific city or regional geographic area. So that's it. I don't see any questions. So I guess everybody must be feeling good about your Google business profiles. With that being said, I'm just going to say, I hope you'll have a wonderful Christmas. And we're going to take a little break next week. We'll be back on the 29th. And I hope to see you all then. In the meantime, have a wonderful time with your family, and we'll see you guys very soon.